Theoretical approach to the teaching process in the digital age using the flipped classroom methodology, essay. Education is a fundamental pillar in the construction of knowledge and the development of the skills necessary to face the challenges of today's society. In this context, significant advances have been made in pedagogy and in the way teaching and learning are approached. One of the most innovative and transformative approaches is the concept of the flipped classroom, which has revolutionized how educators design their classes and how students engage in them. The flipped classroom, proposed by Bergman and Sams in their book Flip Your Classroom, 2012, represents a challenge to the traditional transmission of information in the classroom. Instead of dedicating class time to lectures, students access educational resources such as videos and readings before class. This role reversal allows classroom time to focus on discussions, problem solving, and practical application of knowledge. The central concept of a flipped class is succinctly summarized by Bergman and Sams, 2012. Basically, the concept of a flipped class is this: what is traditionally done in class is now done at home, and what is traditionally done as homework is now completed in class. This inversion in the traditional teaching structure has profound implications for how students engage in their own learning process. In a flipped classroom, students take an active role in constructing their knowledge. This perspective aligns with active pedagogy, which emphasizes active student participation in the learning process. Students not only consume information but also engage in meaningful in-class activities such as debates, problem solving, and collaborative projects. This pedagogical approach not only empowers students but also fosters independence and allows for personalized learning. Students have the opportunity to explore educational materials at their own pace and depth, which is especially beneficial for those with different learning styles or specific needs. Furthermore, the flipped classroom promotes critical thinking and practical application of knowledge, essential skills in the digital age. In this context, flipped classes or flipped classrooms emerge as a pedagogical methodology that combines in-person and online learning. Bergman and Sams, 2012, explain how the flipped classroom moves certain teaching processes out of the classroom, freeing up classroom time for practical and collaborative activities. Davies, Dean, and Ball, 2013, highlight how ICT, information and communication technologies, enrich access to content anywhere and anytime, contributing to more interactive and meaningful learning. The methodology of flipped classes is presented as a response to the need for adaptability to the different learning rhythms of students, Turan and Santiago, 2015. Additionally, it offers greater flexibility in delivering theoretical content and the opportunity to focus on collaborative activities and projects, Roteller and Kane, 2016. These approaches align with the concept of active learning, in which students become knowledge prosumers and use ICT to access more dynamic learning, Sanchez, Ruiz, and Sanchez, 2014, Touchton, 2015. Ultimately, the effective use of ICT in education requires an approach that recognizes students' fluency in the virtual environment and their need for connections between formal and informal learning. Furthermore, it must address the diversity of learning styles and individual paces of students. In this context, Bile's videomatic pedagogy is presented as a proposal that integrates the use of videos and digital resources to enhance students' learning experience, facilitating access to enriched content and promoting flexible and adaptive learning. Technology plays a crucial role in the successful implementation of the flipped classroom. In this context, tools like Videomatica become a central resource. Students access learning content through Videomatica before class, where they can watch interactive videos, interactive scenes, and other resources designed to introduce and explain key concepts. This allows students to become familiar with the concepts and gain a basic understanding before coming to class. Once in the classroom, the teacher acts as a facilitator and guide. Active pedagogy is put into practice, and students actively engage in activities that promote collaboration, critical thinking, and practical application of knowledge. Videomatica is not only a tool but also allows for the creation of interactive content tailored to different learning styles, fostering educational inclusion and addressing the diverse needs of students. In summary, the flipped classroom represents a transformative paradigm in education. This approach, supported by Bergman and Sams, connects with today's students, who are accustomed to using the internet to access information and interaction. By combining the flipped classroom with active pedagogy and the use of technological tools like Videomatica, active student participation and personalized learning are promoted. This approach not only prepares students for the digital age but also contributes to the construction of a more inclusive and equitable education. Active pedagogy is a fundamental component of the flipped classroom approach, as it emphasizes active student participation in their own learning process. Bergman and Sams propose that, instead of passively receiving information during lectures, students should take on a more active role in constructing their knowledge. This is achieved by reversing the traditional teaching dynamic, where students acquire knowledge at home and then apply and discuss that knowledge in the classroom. The central concept of a flipped class, as expressed by Bergman and Sams, 2012, is, basically, the concept of a flipped class is this: what is traditionally done in class is now done at home, and what is traditionally done as homework is now completed in class. This inversion in the traditional teaching structure has profound implications for how students engage in their own learning process and aligns with active pedagogy. Active pedagogy, as developed in Bergman and Sams' book, promotes the idea that students should not only be passive receivers of information but also active participants in meaningful learning activities. This can include debates, problem-solving, collaborative projects, and other experiences that foster critical thinking and the practical application of knowledge. In summary, the theoretical foundation of active pedagogy, as presented in Bergman and Sams' book, 2012, is based on the idea that students should be active protagonists in their learning process, and this is achieved through the inversion of the traditional teaching dynamic. This underlying theory supports and underpins the implementation of the flipped classroom as a transformative approach in education. Information and communication technologies, ICT, play a central role in the transformation of education. Hernandez, 2008, argues that when applied as constructivist tools, ICT provide a differentiated learning experience that better adapts to students and contributes to the construction of their own knowledge. This perspective is supported by the Official Journal of the European Union, which calls for the adoption of innovative student-centered methodologies and effective use of ICT in teaching. Conclusions of the Council on the Modernization of Higher Education, 2011. However, the effective incorporation of ICT in education goes beyond simply adapting technologies to traditional educational methods. As Gutierrez, Palacios, and Torrego, 2010, point out, it is crucial to recognize the transformative role of communication in education and its ability to access a society of shared knowledge. This implies a shift in pedagogical focus, where the student becomes a prosumer of knowledge. McLaughlin and Lee, 2010, leveraging tools and resources that make learning more interactive and meaningful. Imbernon, Silva, and Guzman, 2011. The diversity of technologies, resources, and sources of information used by students throughout their education and personal lives can often be bewildering. Salmeron, Rodriguez, and Gutierrez, 2010, note that traditional platforms often condition the learning model and function as closed silos. This raises the need to offer learning environments tailored to the individual needs of students, recognizing differences in how they approach learning tasks. Ramirez, Ruiz, and Albert, 1996. In line with this idea, Turan and Santiago, 2015, argue that an educational model that imparts the same content to all students at the same pace and depth cannot meet the differential needs of students. This perspective aligns with the principles of the European Higher Education Area, EHEA, which promotes the introduction of elements of informal education into formal education, such as mobility and adaptation to new cultures and contexts. Conclusions of the Council on the Modernization of Higher Education, 2011. Faced with this scenario, it is essential to develop new methodologies that combine traditional teaching with online approaches, which would allow for greater flexibility, adaptability, and self-directed learning. Huber, 2008, emphasizes the importance of preparing students for roles in an uncertain job market, equipping them with knowledge and skills that enable them to actively participate in society. Guerin, Feixes, Gilliman, and Willamette-Jana, 2004, underline the transformation of the teacher's role, evolving from being a mere knowledge transmitter to being a guide and facilitator in the learning process. Inclusive education is an imperative in today's education. The diversity of students with different learning styles and needs requires an inclusive approach. Inclusive educational technologies, as proposed by one David Biles Grisales in his book Inclusive Educational Technologies, play a fundamental role. These technologies allow for the adaptation of educational content to meet the individual needs of students. Digital resources can be customized for students with disabilities or different learning styles. This not only promotes equal opportunities but also enhances retention and understanding of the material. According to Biles, 2023, in the educational context, equity involves ensuring that all students have equal opportunities to access education, participate in the learning process, and achieve their educational goals. This means that barriers and inequalities that hinder access to education must be eliminated, and educational environments that are inclusive and tailored to the needs and characteristics of each student must be created. Equity in education also involves ensuring that educational resources and services are distributed fairly and equitably, and that necessary support is provided for students with special needs or in vulnerable situations, page 31. According to Biles, 2023, regarding inclusive educational technologies, IET, it refers to those technological tools and resources designed to help students with special needs fully participate in the educational process. This can include accessibility devices, reading and writing software, speech recognition software, assistive technology, among others, page 34. According to Biles, 2023, IET and the flipped classroom can work together to enhance student learning and facilitate teacher instruction. IET can be used to create interactive and customized educational materials tailored to individual student needs. This allows students with disabilities or different learning styles to effectively access content and engage in the learning process meaningfully, page 36. A fundamental aspect in the digital age is digital citizenship. As Biles, 2023, points out, digital citizenship is the ability of individuals to effectively, ethically, and safely use information and communication technologies, page 112. In an increasingly connected world, digital citizenship is essential. In the context of the flipped classroom and educational technologies, digital citizenship addresses key aspects, including access to reliable information, online respect, online safety, responsible use of technology, cultural diversity and respect, online civic participation, and digital media evaluation. In conclusion, inclusive education is an essential component of David Biles' videomatic pedagogy. In an increasingly diverse and connected world, it is crucial to ensure that all students, regardless of their abilities, backgrounds, or circumstances, have access to quality education. The combination of strategies such as the flipped classroom, active pedagogy, and digital citizenship in videomatic significantly contributes to this educational inclusion in several ways. One of the most significant ways is personalized learning, as the flipped classroom allows students to access educational resources before class, offering flexibility and adaptability. This is especially beneficial for students with different learning rhythms or specific needs, as they can review the material at their own pace and depth. Another important aspect is active participation. This emphasizes the active involvement of all students in the learning process. This means promoting the inclusion of diverse voices and valuing each student's contribution in debates, collaborative projects, and other activities. No less important is digital awareness. Digital citizenship is not just about using technology but doing so responsibly and ethically. This competence is essential for all students, as it provides them with the necessary skills to participate safely and effectively in today's digital society. As the central focus of videomatic pedagogy, educational equity is achieved by adapting teaching to meet individual student needs, thus promoting equal educational opportunities. Traditional barriers are overcome, and all students are given the opportunity to reach their full potential. References: Bergman J. and Sams A., 2012, Flip Your Classroom, Reach Every Student in Every Class. Editorial, International Society for Technology in Education. ISBN 978-1-56484-315-9. Adaptado por Biles de Recuperação de https://www.academia.edu/30809767/Aaron_Jonathan_Aaron_Flip_Aaron_Book_ZZ_Yor_org. Biles D. 2023, Tecnologias Educativas Inclusivas. ISBN 978-84-18834-74-5. Adaptado por biles de recuperado de https://proyecto-de-cart.org/icr-tecnologias_educativas_inclusivas/index.html. Conclusions del Consejo sobre la Modernización de la Enseñanza Superior. 2011, Diario Oficial de la Unión Europea. Davies, R. S., Dean, D. L., and Ball, N. 2013. Flipping the Classroom and Instructional Technology Integration in a College-Level Information System Spreadsheet Course. Educational Technology Research and Development, 61, 4, 563-580. Garin, J., Feixes, M., Gilliman, M. J., and Villamitjana, M. 2004. La Dirección de Equipos Docentes en la Universidad. Octedro. Gutierrez, J. M., Palacios, J., and Torrego, L. 2010. El Curriculum Oculto de la Educación Superior. Octedro. Hernández, R. 2008. Como hacer investigación cualitativa. Editions Morada. Imbernon, F., Silva, P., and Guzmán, V. 2011. Aprender y enseñar en la diversidad. Editions Morada. McLaughlin, C., and Lee, M. J. 2010. Personalized and Self-Regulated Learning in the Web 2.0 Era, International Exemplars of Innovative Pedagogy Using Social Software. Australasian Journal of Educational Technology, 26, 1, 28-43. Ramirez, J. L., Ruiz, J. G., and Albert, J. G., 1996. Psicologia de la Educación. Editions Pyramid. Roteller, C., and Kane, J., 2016. Research, Perspectives, and Recommendations on Implementing the Flipped Classroom. American Journal of Pharmaceutical Education, 80, 2, 34. Sanchez, R. A., Ruiz, D. R., and Sanchez, J. S., 2014. Flipped Classroom Improves Success Rates in a Public Speaking Course. Computers and Education, 78, 153-163. Salmeron, L., Rodriguez, M., and Gutierrez, J. M., 2010. Evaluation Format Eva y Compartida en el aula con Moodle. Editions Octedro. Turon, J., and Santiago, R., 2015. Aprender y enseñar en entornos virtuales, Actividad y Tutorización. Octedro.